This is Junk Drawer, aka JD. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Well, this is the new topic in the news. The fire chief from LA. Basically, it's got the facts, got the receipts, show that they are way underfunded, undermanned.
So let's get to the big question, the budget. There's so much talk about it. It was cut 17 million. It was cut this. It wasn't cut at all, according to one newspaper. Was your budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025 cut?
I can tell you, I'm going to even go back further than that. Again, since day one, we've identified huge gaps in regard to our service delivery and our ability from our firefighters, boots on the ground, to do their jobs. Since day one, this is my third budget as we're going into 25-26. What I can tell you is we are still understaffed, we're still under-resourced, and we're still underfunded. So with that, whether it's 7 million, 10 million.
But was the budget cut, Chief?
Yes, it was cut, and it did impact our ability to provide service.
And earlier, there were rumors that she was allegedly fired and let go by the mayor. Whether that's true or not, we don't have 100% confirmation yet, but I don't think she is because they're claiming that she was with the mayor in another interview. I think this is my opinion. This is allegedly she was fired. She told her people, this is what they said, that she went back into the office. There was a news report and told her people, yeah, I'm out of here. They fired me. And then, afterwards, she then was seen with the mayor in a different interview. So I think she was fired. And then the mayor realized how much she messed up for firing her. And then basically said, okay, you're not fired. But most likely the fire chief will probably be fired afterwards, even though this ain't her fault and she's got the receipts that this ain't her fault. So she covered herself on this one. When you hear these facts and figures of how underfunded they are, how short of staff they are, you know what? It's just better to hear it from her directly.
Let's talk about that memo. You sent a memo, a scathing memo to the Board of Fire Commissioners where you expressed your concern that you were not going to be able to do your job. Your firefighters would not be able to respond adequately to a major emergency like a wildfire, like what we're seeing right now.
Right. So understanding where our services gaps are, number one, is understanding where our firefighters need in regard to their equipment. Now, let's focus back on what our people need, and what they need to be is properly funded and equipped. Whether it's 7 million or not, it doesn't matter. It impacts our ability, just like you said with the board report, of our ability to provide service. And that's on a normal day. Our firefighters are running over 1,500 calls. They're transporting 650 patients a day on a normal day, let alone the last 3 days of what we've had with significant impacts that have changed the communities that we serve, their lives forever.
What's even more interesting about this whole thing is things like this brings to the light what's going wrong in the budgets, in the government. They're so underfunded that it's...
What is your message to city administrators, starting with Mayor Bass?
My message is the fire department needs to be properly funded.
And it's not.
It's not at this point, and we've got the justification. We know where our gaps in service are. We know we need 62 new fire stations. We need to double the size of our firefighters. The growth of this city since 1960 has doubled, and we have less fire stations.
Let's repeat that, because those numbers are a little jarring. 20 years ago, you had more fire stations than you had now?
We had 112 fire stations. Now we have 106. And since 2010, we've had an increase, doubled our call volume, which is firefighters responding to calls, 55% increase with 68 less firefighters.
You can't even claim that they were slightly underfunded or slightly undermanned.
In December, you wrote that memo. You said that these budget cuts were going to severely affect your department, from everything from brush clearance checks to make sure homeowners were doing what they needed to do, to fire hydrant checks. And yet you heard the mayor just yesterday say, no, those cuts did not affect the ability to serve and would not have changed anything in this situation. What is going through your mind?
Again, my position is to make sure that our people get what they need to do their jobs, and also, mind you, that they get to go home to their families. The amount of calls that our firefighters are running today has doubled since 2010, a 55% increase with 68 less people. Full transparency, this isn't a new problem for us. Since the 3 years that I've been in the seat, I've sounded the alarm to say we need more. This is no longer sustainable.
The mayor said it didn't affect your ability to respond. Did it affect LA City Fire's ability to respond, starting with the Palisade fire and then this domino effect of fires, including the Archer fire that we're seeing happen right now in Granada Hills?
Yeah, I think obviously any budget cut is going to impact our ability to provide service. That's at this point, that is a ground truth in regard to our ability. If there's a budget cut, we had to pull from somewhere else. What does that mean? That doesn't get done. There's delays. And that's what our firefighters need.
And let me show you real quick. Photographer Tony Buttigieg, I'm going to ask you to pan over to that table. Tell me what I'm looking at. This is memo after memo after memo, including to the Board of Fire Commissioners, where you pointed out your concern that you were not going to adequately be able to respond to a wildfire, an earthquake, everything that we see precisely in the city. Did they fail you?
Yes.
I believe we have a follow-up question from the studio.
Question on that reservoir issue. Is the fire department aware of when these resources are depleted, just like that reservoir had no water? Was she aware of that fact, that it was under construction and there was no water there?
Sandra Endo, one of our anchors, wants to know if the department is advised that the Santa Ynez Reservoir was going to be emptied. Were you aware that there was no water there?
No, we weren't aware of that.
They don't have to advise you?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
So you had no idea that there wasn't such needed resource?
No, we weren't.
All right. Chief Kristen Crowley, again, Chief of the Los Angeles City Fire Department.
And then the information, that is not being shared with the Department of Water, I guess, saying, hey, yeah, we're going to empty out this reservoir and repair it. Okay, so where's the backup reservoir? So that means that they don't have a backup reservoir. And on top of not having a backup reservoir, that lets us know that the budget for the water department and the fire department is so underfunded. This lets us know that the Department of Water is underfunded on top of the fire department being underfunded. Now, this is all allegedly. I have to say the magic word allegedly. But she has the receipts, which you've seen, stating that at least the fire department's underfunded. But where's the backup reservoir for the reservoir while they dump out all the water and repair it? Where's a backup reservoir? Why don't they have a backup reservoir? Oh, I got an idea why. Probably because they're underfunded as well. This just goes to show that the government is lacking in so much. And it's sad that it takes probably billions and billions of dollars in damage and 10 lives so far lost to show this. I mean, this shouldn't happen, period. If you made it this far, you know what? Normally I say, hey, if you made it this far, I got to GoFundMe to help me get a new laptop. But you know what? If you're capable and have the ability, go ahead and donate to one of the organizations or charities that you want, because donating for me to get a new laptop to make more videos and better videos than what I'm making now just doesn't seem right. So yeah, go ahead and donate to one of the charities for these fires when you can, if you can. I would if I could, but obviously I'm asking for donations for a laptop, and it's just the way it is. I can't help out. And I'm sure a lot of people are going through it too. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.